After you had told him this, Mr. Van Wyk responds with a voice note on the same day, 8:57. All this is happening within 2 minutes. And I would like to play the voice note. And then, in this voice note,
Julius, how can we get involved? How can our team get involved with this? I mean, we can make nice deals, yeah.
so you hear, after you shared that information with him, he wants to know how does he get involved?
Yes.
Because they can make nice deals.
Yes, you're correct.
Now, if you see there that immediately after that voice note at 9:02, you give a response, and you say, I will establish a team. I'm at page 672. I will establish a team of brand owners, EMPD, and you. That's where we will be getting information about hijacked trucks, robbed stock. You see that?
Yes.
Then he says, cool, so we need to start putting stuff together. So this is a joint venture or a joint effort of some kind, you are suggesting, between EMPD, brand owners, and entities such as the one Mr. Van Wyk runs, where you will recover, there'll be recovery of the hijacked stock for which the company will be charged 10%.
Yes. As I speak to you, we are having close to many WhatsApp groups of different teams with different security companies that are doing these things. That's why I was trying to advise him that, except this thing of Peace Corps and other things, you can even do this business with private security companies, because our teams are working on the ground with these different people, and these people are making a lot of money.
Why are you proposing to offer to private companies information obtained by EMPD on hijacked trucks so that they can charge 10% from the owner of the stock?
That's what is happening on the market. Private companies.
My question was, why are you, as EMPD, when you obtain that information as to where the truck is, are able to recover that truck and its stock? Why do you involve private companies so that they can charge 10% in what you call a lucrative industry?
Remember, Mike at that time has established a security company, and they've been working in terms of crime prevention. As you see that different photos that we shared of them getting successes and everything. I was also saying to him, there's another business that you can undergo where we are working with those different companies, and they're claiming not even working on that. That was my thinking. That was what I suggested to him, that you can make money out of those other private companies that we're working with. They're making money out of that.
And what were you going to get in return, introducing this business idea to him?
No, nothing, Chair. Because we're even working, or nothing, commissioners, because we're even working with other security companies like those ones. We're getting nothing in return. You see, they're claiming it, they're getting their successes. It's between their contract and their client, between them as security companies and their client, if I may summarize it. But I expected nothing, Chair.
I suggest that that answer cannot be right, Commissioner Mkhwanazi, because we see from that message that EMPD is involved in the search for and recovery of stolen stock, correct?
Yes.
Now, as a police officer, why don't you return the stock directly to its owner? Why must you involve a private entity that will bleed the stock owner of 10% of the value of the goods? What is to be gained by the owners of the truck and the goods and by the citizens of Ekurhuleni when you, quote unquote, I'll call it sell this information so that Mr. Van Wyk can make 10% from the owner?
I think I've explained it to Commissioner Kumala. As I'm talking, police officers, EMPD and SAPS, they're working with different companies. And all those stocks is being booked in different, for example, I made an example with the copper, that they recovered the copper that worth 6 million. It's worth 6 million. You see, they booked in and everything. It is booked. Then the security companies and the client, because they have an agreement that once you recover, that's what they do, you see. Then I was suggesting that you can make money out of that. Not to say I was going to benefit out of that. And I was saying it openly so. Because it is an open business. Private registered security companies that are doing it on a daily basis.
The problem that I see, or the problem for me,
Yes,
Commissioner Mkhwanazi, is that this message that says EMPD and you, that we will be getting information, it's conveying that you would give Mr. Van Wyk information about hijacked trucks. Then he gets to make an easy 10%, which other companies don't have the benefit of. Other security companies, they find the goods and then they make their 10% from the owner of the goods. But you are here speaking about an arrangement where information that has been procured or obtained by the EMPD, instead of the EMPD executing or operationalizing that information, the EMPD gives that information to Mr. Van Wyk's company. And then even if you do the operation together, but he gets to claim based on information that he gets from you, from EMPD. That is the problem with that message.
No, I get you, Commissioner Baloyi. Yes. But when you looked at page 671, you see, 671, the team has been established not in 2021. The team of before 671, I'm trying to explain something, that the team had been already established 2020, that dealt with truck hijacking, testing and everything. You see, we have been working in these things. I've been seeing people doing this. I was trying to suggest to him as a friend, we can also do this, not limiting it to EMPD. You see, but I know how did I rephrase it, you see.
Yes.
But the team has been already there working, and when you check their successes in terms of this recovery, truck hijacking, it was reduced by these two teams of SAPS and EMPD in the city of Ekurhuleni because it is an industrial area. It's on the stock.
I have no difficulty, or I would have no difficulty with you alerting Mr. Van Wyk's company to a business opportunity or an opportunity to make money, and you leave them to compete with the other security companies. And you have nothing to do with it. You cooperate or collaborate, but you are not sharing information because you seem to, on this message, you are promising or suggesting to create a relationship where Mr. Van Wyk's company benefits from EMPD information to make money. You understand the distinction that I'm drawing?
Yes, I agree with you.
So that's a difficulty that I have with this message.
Yes. And may I raise something?
Yes.
And we have already shared with different security companies, different teams. In fact, those that are doing crime prevention in different groups, any success that they do, I happened to get, I was told that there was a success of, what is this bets, you see, that I got from Mike. He shared that because they have been, let me summarize by saying, since from 2020, or since from specialized to established, we shared many information with security companies. We were working with private, but I understand your concern.
I mean, you say you understand, but then you carry on in a way that seems to suggest you don't quite understand what the issue is.
No.
I don't think there's a problem. I don't have a difficulty with sharing successes and collaborating. I don't have a difficulty with that. What I have a problem with is where Mr. Van Wyk's company will make 10% of a load or of a recovery based on EMPD information, because that's what you're conveying here. And in fact, maybe, let me just clarify to make sure that I understand what you're saying. You surely are not saying that EMPD does that with other companies as well. other security companies, that you have this practice where you collaborate, you share, you give them your information. You say, there's that hijacking there. You, VSP company, security company, go recover it and then you'll make your 10%. You're not saying that that's
No,
the
no, no, I'm not
practice.
saying that.
Yes.
I'm saying in crime prevention only. It's all.
Okay.
I get to understand what you're saying.
But you understand the
Yes,
difficulties?
yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. And I'm saying what you are doing now is no longer policing. It is using information that you obtain by virtue of being a police officer to sell to the private company to make 10%. You spoke of earlier of a copper that was hijacked worth 6 million. And you are giving private companies an opportunity to make 10% of the value of that copper, for instance, which would be paid by the owner of the copper. You, as a police officer, are doing that. When the law requires you to protect the owner of the copper, and once their goods, their truck and goods are recovered, that you make sure that they receive what they have lost. Why are you generating a business for somebody else from the losses they could potentially suffer? As a police officer, I'm talking to you.
I think you didn't understand
Clearly not.
my
Can you try
example.
again, please?
I've said there was a question that why are you recovering and calling the company? I've said, for example, we recovered copper, we went to the police station, they went to the police station with SAPS, it was booked there. Then I've said, these companies, they come after you and claim everything. I didn't say that in that copper, security companies were called. No, no, no. I've said it was booked. There's SAP 13, SAP 13 and 14 because there were arrests that were made there. I was trying to clarify that, not to say in that copper. I was making an example that members recover and book the stock and leave everything with SAPS. I was clarifying that.
I too used the copper example because you had used it. I'm not suggesting you say that this scheme applied to that copper heist. But what I'm saying is, clearly here you are establishing a scheme, and you say it has been happening with other private companies. You are establishing a scheme, or at least encouraging Mr. Van Wyk to participate in a scheme whereby EMPD has information by virtue of being a police service, and instead of acting in the interest of the owner of the truck and the goods, you first sell that information to private sector for individual security firms to make 10% from the owner. And I'm saying that is wholly inappropriate, surely.
You know, I agree with you when you say, but our members, when we can check the successes of that truck hijacking task team and the OB entries and everything that they've done, that you could see in our OB entries that they are having there, that these stocks have been recovered, booked in, everything was done, you see.
And if you were particularly insistent that Mr. Van Wyk, and by Mr. Van Wyk I mean whatever security firm he represents, must get a cut in this deal where his firm can make 10%. And that's exactly how we understood you too.
No, I didn't insist. When you say particular insisted, no, no, no.
Okay, well, I'll demonstrate to you the insistence, but for the moment, I would like to play a clip in response to, before I play that clip, timestamp, it's going to be put up now, 20th March 2022, it's page 672.
672, yes.
It's a message from you at 0907, where you say, H, my brother, we have tools, only need to marked vehicles. I know you are registered at Sierra. What's
Sierra? It's Sierra.
Sierra,
Sierra, yes.
Sierra.
Yes, yes,
It's
yes,
the regulator for the security industry.
Yes, remember, it needs you to have marked vehicles when you are doing security work. You can't do security work. Remember, he had a suggestion that you want to put EMPT and what stickers. I said, no, you must mark with your own branding and everything. With CIRA again, it demands you to do that. All the security companies must have a marked vehicle. You see,
So-
Does the correct spelling not start with P?
yes, start with
CIRA,
P.
of
Yes,
CIRA.
start with P, Commissioner. Thank you.
So-
Start with P.
Commissioner Mkhwanazi, if your thinking was Mr. Van Wyk would then take the information and advise the owner of the truck that the stock has been located and receive 10%, why is it necessary that he have marked vehicles that show that he's registered with CIRA?
Remember, commissioners, I just don't want to talk on behalf of the security. These security cameras, they go and market themselves and have clients and sign the contract. But in that thing, when we respond with the marked vehicle. Because there are a lot of shootings, you can't respond with unmarked. Because when everyone is responding, they will think there are a lot of shoot or incidents that we've had with unmarked vehicles where people are being shot at when you check this police versus police or police versus security companies. My advice was on that it must be a marked vehicle if you are joining this, not just with any vehicle.
So then it's not correct that he'll only be relying on information obtained from EMPD after the truck has been recovered and the goods and entered into SAP 13, because a marked vehicle would be necessary if he's going to take part in the seizure of the truck.
When you go to page 67, all these companies are marked. They are having marked vehicles. That was my understanding. They were related. All of them are marked vehicles.
I accept that, except that sharing of information doesn't need a marked vehicle.
But
you need a marked vehicle to participate in the seizure of the truck itself.
it will take me to Commissioner Baloyi and said, I don't understand. I've said security companies, I've said it don't even on the first day, that we're working with different security companies in the city of Ekurhuleni. And it is where it is an industrial area, you see. And those security companies are working there, marked vehicle, they respond to different crimes that are taking place in the city, or different illegal activities that are taking place. Some, in fact, are more resourced than even us, you see, because they respond faster than us, because we've got limited resources. When you check the muscle and the power that they're using, but I don't want, as I've said, I don't want to talk on behalf of security companies. I want to limit myself to this.
Staying with this conversation then, after you had checked with
Check.
Mr.
Can I get a small break?
Oh. Small break.
Let's adjourn. We'll come back when Commissioner is ready.